Hey there, everyone. It's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, back again for another Real Talk movie review. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm Caitlin, and um, in this series, I review movies of all types, all genres, all ages, all years of release, new, old, and everything in between. So if you want movie reviews, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see in this channel, you can always hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out, knows what content everybody likes. So please, please, please do that. Today's video is something that I have been wanting to watch for a very, very long time. This movie has been on my list for a long time, and I just haven't been able to watch it for what I couldn't find it on a streaming platform, whatever. And I finally was able to snag, borrow a DVD, and I am so excited to review it for you guys. And today we're going to be reviewing BeetleJuice. Perfect movie for the season. It is fall, it is spooky season, and this is the perfect movie to watch. And it has been on my list for a very long time. BeetleJuice is such an iconic classic for our generation. It is a cult classic by far. And for those of you who don't know, it actually was just released as a Broadway musical. Not just released, but like in the past couple of years has been turned into a Broadway musical, which makes it even more a reason to watch it if you are into like newer Broadway. So like I said, if you like what you see in this channel, make sure you subscribe and like this video for more. Let's go ahead and get into the review. So this is a older movie. I'm not exactly sure on the release date, but I want to say it was released in like the 1980s, possibly early 90s. It has way more of a stellar cast than I was expecting, including Catherine O'Hara, the mom from Home Alone. She is just hilarious. And when I saw her name on the opening credits, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So, like I said, this movie has been on my list for a very long time. For about 3 years now, I have tried during spooky season to watch BeetleJuice, and I just haven't been able to find it anywhere. My sister-in-law has the DVD, so we finally watched it. And essentially, the plot is that this couple dies and they become ghosts, and they're trapped in their own home because they can't go to heaven or hell. They're just like trapped in this in between in their own home. This new family comes to live in the home, and they try to haunt them as a way to like get out of the house and kind of be free from the house. And they decide, because they like the daughter of the family, they decide to like stick around. So they're trying to get the family out, and then they decide to stick around. Now, the iconic like BeetleJuice outfit, Michael Keaton plays BeetleJuice, and the iconic look, you don't even see that until like halfway through the film. So it was a little bit confusing for me, but this film is very, very fast paced. And I don't even know how long the runtime is because I felt like I was watching it for 30 minutes. It felt like a short film to me. And I had heard that Beetlejuice was like kind of a scary movie, and like Universal Studios used to do like a horror makeup show around Beetlejuice. Like they had characters dressed like Beetlejuice, and they would do his whole skit and like how they did the special effects and everything. So, and as a kid, as a young kid, when I went to that show, it was scary. So I was under the impression that Beetlejuice was kind of a scary, kind of like a spooky, not slasher horror, really scary, but like scary. And the like scene with them, the deformed faces or like the morphed faces, that was about as scary of content as is in this movie. There were like some little gags, little pranks, but overall it's silly and like quirky, not really super scary. So it was funny. It's classic, it's iconic, and it has a great cast. Michael Keaton does a phenomenal job playing Beetlejuice, and he's probably most well known for that role, in my opinion. And everybody knows Beetlejuice, and like it's iconic in that there are certain scenes, like the scene, the song, I can't think of it right now, but the Jump in the Line song, right? Everybody knows that song. And when people think of that song, they think of Beetlejuice. And just, having to say his name 3 times and his pinstripe suit. Like, there are things that everybody recognizes from this movie, even if you haven't seen it. Like I said, it's very, very fast paced. And if you were not paying attention, you didn't know what was happening. And that's exactly what happened to my younger sister. We were all watching it together. Some of us had never seen it before, some of us had, and it was very, very fast paced. And if you were not watching, then you would miss things. The iconic parts were not until about halfway through. And I think another con that I didn't mention here when I was creating these visuals was that I have actually heard some of the music from the Broadway soundtrack. So I kind of knew what was happening. But at the same time, there were pieces in the Broadway music that I was expecting in the movie that I didn't get. And now, after watching the movie, I really want to listen to the soundtrack again to kind of put the pieces together, because I have not listened to the soundtrack all the way through. I've listened to like certain songs, which could be the issue as well. But the iconic parts were not until about halfway through the film. So the whole first part is kind of slow and it kind of drags on. And then it's like all of this stuff happens within the last like 15 or 20 minutes is what it felt like. It might have been longer than that, but it felt like the second half and the most iconic parts of the film and the whole climax happened so quickly. And the ending, I felt, was just, I didn't put this in the con either, but I felt like the ending was just like it just sort of ended, and the ending didn't really make sense to me. But it wasn't really spooky or scary. It was just kind of quirky. And maybe it's because I'm watching it as an adult. If I would have watched it as a kid or even like a younger teen, I probably would have been a little bit freaked out. But as an adult, it was just kind of funny and quirky. And like I said, I don't really understand. There were like one piece of the ending I understand, but then there's another piece of the ending that I don't really understand. So yeah, it was just, for me, it was meh. I give it a C. It was okay. It did not live up to my expectation. I was really disappointed. And my sister-in-law was like, I can tell you didn't like it as much as you thought you would. And that's true. I didn't. I really, really, really had high hopes for this film. I wanted it to be kind of spooky. I wanted it to be like a little bit more than what it was. And Lucas had tried to warn me. He was like, ugh, I hate that movie. It's so dumb. But he thinks that about a lot of movies. So I was like, oh no, it's probably fine. I was disappointed. Like, me and this Bimoji, like, that was pretty much me during the film. Like, I was a little bit bored in some parts and it was just okay. Would I watch it again? Probably. I would show this film to my children when they're like 9 or 10, and I think if you grow up with it, it's going to be more nostalgic. Because it's not very scary. It's not something that I think would give anybody nightmares or anything, because it's an older movie. So the special effects are just also kind of meh. There are some scenes that are like, oh, that was a little jump scary, but nothing too traumatic. I definitely feel like this is a family-friendly movie, other than there is some language in it. It is rated PG from like in the 80s. So the F-bomb is said, and I think he says HE double hockey sticks and like one other word. I think there's 3 different instances of some foul language. So if that is not something that you want your young children to hear, then wait till they're 13. And even though it's rated PG, know that that is in it, which as an adult is fine. But again, if you don't want your young children hearing that, then save this for when they're a teenager. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And this was one that unfortunately did not meet the mark for me, but I know it is a cult classic. And I would watch it again. And maybe the more that I watch it, the more I'll grow in fondness for it. But for the first time, my initial review, I was just a little bit disappointed. So leave me a like or a comment on your thoughts on this film, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out all of my other newly released videos. You can scroll up and down. They're going to be above and below this video, so make sure you go check out those. Some movies great for spooky season and movies great for all year round. So make sure you go check out all my latest videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.